Welcome to The Explainer. This week, 3 events happened in the AI world that looked totally separate, but they all actually point to the same, really surprising conclusion about where this whole industry is headed. And this quote right here, it's really at the heart of our first story. A major code leak just gave us a peek under the hood of a top AI company, and what it showed us confirms this idea completely. The real secret sauce isn't just the AI model itself, it's all the clever engineering that's built around it. That's right, a simple packaging error accidentally exposed 500,000 lines of code from Anthropic. And in doing that, it basically revealed the true competitive advantage in AI today. And let me tell you, it is not what most people think.
So the code revealed this practice that insiders are calling harness engineering. Here's the best way to think about it. The AI model, that's like a super powerful engine, but an engine by itself can't win a race, right? The harness is, well, it's everything else. It's the chassis, the memory systems, how it recovers from errors. It's all the smart scaffolding that turns that powerful engine into a race-winning car.
And check this out. This is a perfect real-world example of what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got a startup, Poetic, and they focused everything on building a better harness. On the right, a tech giant with a way more powerful model. But just look at the results. The better harness was more accurate, we're talking 54% versus 45%, and it got the job done for less than half the cost. The system, the smarts around the model, beat raw power. Okay, so if this harness is so crucial, what happens when it breaks? Or when it's just badly managed? Well, this week gave us 2, frankly, painful examples of the real human cost. First up, let's look at Amazon. Just walk through this timeline. In January, they mandated this super aggressive use of AI tools and then laid off thousands of engineers. A month later, bam, a huge 13-hour production outage caused by one of their internal AI assistants. And then by March, they had the horrible realization that the senior engineers they needed to fix the problem were the very ones they'd already let go. It left them with this dark code that nobody left really understood. At the same time, over at Anthropic, a totally different kind of crisis was brewing. Developers who build on their platform started noticing something weird. Their costs were jumping. A lot. We're not talking small changes, we're talking totally unexpected increases of up to 32%. And this is how they found out. Can you imagine? A silent, unannounced change to the system's cache basically turned what should have been cheap operations into really expensive ones. Now, this wasn't a bug. It was a choice they made, and it just instantly shattered the trust with the very developers who are, the lifeblood of their whole ecosystem. So, look, these stories aren't just random, isolated incidents. They are actually signals of some really big structural shifts that are happening in AI as we speak. Let's break down a couple of the most important ones. The first shift is this, just staggering 50-point gap. You have 73% of AI experts who are optimistic about how AI will impact jobs, while only 23% of the general public feels the same way. This is more than just a communications problem, folks. This is a potential governance crisis just brewing in plain sight. And that anxiety the public is feeling, it's not just a vague fear, it's grounded in real data. As you can see here, employment for young software developers, we're talking 22 to 25 years old, has already dropped by almost 20% since 2022. So this isn't some problem for the future, it's happening right now. Okay, so the second huge shift is all about timing. For years, the general thinking, even among the experts, was that really, truly transformative AI was a distant thing. Maybe a decade away, maybe more. But now, one of the most credible, respected voices in AI safety has just dramatically updated his forecast. He's now putting the odds of fully automated AI research, and that means AI that can do actual science by itself, at 30% by 2028. That's a massive shift. It means the future is coming at us way faster than we thought. So, what does all this actually mean for you? And what should you be paying attention to going forward? Let's break down the key signals that are going to tell us where this is all going. All right, here are 5 key signals to track. First, the harness race. Watch who's building the best system around their models, not just who has the biggest model. Second, developer trust. Is Anthropic going to make real structural changes to win back its community after that pricing fiasco? Third, agent security. It really feels like a matter of when, not if, we see the first major incident from a malicious AI skill. Fourth, benchmarks versus reality. Keep an eye on new models like Google's Gemma 4. Will they actually live up to their amazing test scores in the real world? And finally, jobs and regulation. Watch the employment data closely as huge laws like the EU AI Act start to kick in this August. So yeah, this week really proved the game has fundamentally changed. The big takeaway here is that the value is shifting away from just the model and toward the smart system built around it. And that leaves all of us with a really critical question. In this new race, are you building the system or are you just prompting the engine?